Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
So, welcome, stargazers. This is the Lawless Astrology channel. And if you are new to this channel, what we do here is we look at patterns in the cosmos and how that impacts our relationships, how that impacts us through difficult times, and hopefully we can learn a little astrology along the way. Today, I have with me Kelly Chambers, and Kelly and I have been astrologers for over 20 years, and we were both taught by the evolutionary astrologer Stephen Forrest. And this time we are going to be looking at May 7th through the 13th. So this is kind of a forecast of what's coming up, and so stick around if that interests you. Okay, Kelly. So today we are recording on the 6th for the 7th, and we have this really amazing, beautiful, juicy new moon in the sign of Taurus coming up on May 7th. And so I believe it's at 8:22 p.m. Pacific time. And so I'm just going to set the stage a little bit about what a new moon is all about. So when you have a full moon, things come to fruition. It's like you see everything in all its glory because the lights have been turned on bright. But in a new moon, everything is dark and you have no idea what the potential is that's out there. And so seeds can be planted for the future. And so I think that's what I just love new moons. And I think we should talk a little bit about some potential new moon ceremonies that people can do around this Taurus new moon, because it's one of the best new moons that we've had in a very long time. Um, One of the things that I've noticed is there's been like this big pileup of planets in Aries, and now suddenly, like, we all get to exhale, right? Because it's been go, go, go. It's been do, 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 get things done. And now we have Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, we have Venus in the sign of Taurus, and we also have Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So they're all kind of working together to say, it's time to take a break and set a clear intention for what we want for our future and to manifest kind of Venusian and Taurus things. So what are your thoughts?
I'm just putting the exact time up. I think Pacific time is actually at 11:22. It's at 8:22 Eastern time, the new
Yep.
moon on the 7th. So
Okay.
the so
Thank
the
you
so
for
the end of
correcting
the
me.
day. But I do like that the moon sort of gets primed by Venus and Taurus, right, earlier that day, and then, kind of receives those Venusian vibes. And then it really, yeah, comes to exact that evening. And when I think of Taurus, having just done this tobacco ceremony, I just felt that energy of, it's a permission to get out of your head and into the ease and simplicity of life, which in today's pace, and especially, April and the eclipses and the Mercury retrograde and all this sort of cosmic pile up in some really challenging um, placements and events. It's kind of like, yeah, it's permission, like you say, just to exhale and return to our bodies and simplicity and allow things to come in. We don't need to overthink, right? If it was a Gemini moon, sometimes it's like, okay, we're seeking understanding and the sparkly breadcrumb trail, and like we're ideating. In Taurus, it's like, how much can you give yourself permission to slow down, to engage your senses, to I don't want to say set simple goals, but like just to make real, to feel your feet on the earth and allow your future, or those appropriate seeds for this new lunar cycle, to meet you halfway through exploring some space. I think we'd all be so grateful just to make some space and allow intentions to come through. And I think that's, yeah, through, body work, meditation, sensorial pleasure, even, material delights, eating, like just like a big exhale. This
Big
is,
exhale.
really put a lot into this one, because with, a benefic like Venus, within degrees of it, and the moon loves being in Taurus, right?
It's
So
exalted in
it's
Taurus.
just
So yeah, that means that
exactly. So
that's
they're
a
kind of
it's
speaking the same language. There's no kind of contrast with their energy. So it's like you can really, like, definitely yeah, ceremony, whatever that means to you, long walk in nature, forest bathing, like there is, just letting the spirits come through and yeah, be
So one of
heard.
my favorite descriptions of Taurus, when I'm doing a reading and I'm trying to get people in that mindset, is you may not be familiar with it, but there was a book I loved when I was a little kid, and then I think they made a movie about it, called Ferdinand the Bull. And
Oh
Ferdinand
yeah, of
was so,
course, yeah.
like, all the other bulls were showing off and they were, trying to get ahead. And Ferdinand just liked to sit under a tree and smell flowers.
Right,
And that to me is like the highest form of Taurus. And so,
exactly, yeah.
yeah, so, we have that Uranus piece. So that doesn't mean that change isn't there or isn't happening, but it's the kind of change that doesn't have to be so dramatic. Things have been really high drama with the eclipse. And, almost everybody's life that I
Oh my
know
God, it has exploded.
right, like
Or
the
maybe like if your
cosmos
life has
has not
exploded.
been
Yeah,
gentle.
it's been a lot of change, a lot of kind of mass exodus of, from
Yeah, like a
certain,
lot of releasing, a lot of letting
yeah.
go. Neptune's at that 29 degrees of Pisces like all summer. So there's going to be this like, and we're just starting that kind of just constant release. And so there's going to be a lot of release, but it's making room for something bigger and better. And so what I love
Right.
about this Taurus new moon is when Taurus for a new moon, you can set intentions. You can plant those seeds and you don't know where they're going to go. And there's something very beautiful and exciting about that, like knowing that you plant a beautiful seed now and in August you have a sunflower. And
Hmm.
that's kind of the energy here when you have Venus, which is relationships and money and, kind of security. And you have Jupiter, which magnifies things and brings good
Hmm.
luck and positive energy. So you have the two big benefics, especially around
Right.
here. And then you have Uranus. And so the Uranus piece is like saying, like, yeah, something can change, but it doesn't have to be this drama trauma that we've had of late. And so I love
Right.
that about this new moon. Also, when the moon, I think I may have to pause because I feel like the gardener is about to go mow the lawn in the front yard now, but we'll see if they do
Oh, okay.
that. We will take a
Well,
pause and I will move my my computer.
gotta be adaptable these days.
You're going to be adapted.
Just
So, but talking about ceremonies, so not everyone knows what a new moon ceremony looks like. And so to talk a little bit about some ideas, I love what you said about going on a nature walk. It can be as simple as taking a bubble bath with a bunch of candles. It can be making your favorite meal with a nice bottle of wine for this Taurus one and sitting down with a pen and paper and like actually clearly writing down your intentions. What do you want these seeds to bear fruit? So it doesn't have to be something like Kelly just, she mentioned she did a tobacco ceremony with cool, um,
lady,
a really cool lady.
medicine woman.
Well, we'll put a link to her stuff below because she's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, and not everybody wants to do these kind of elaborate ceremonies with people or candles, or, it can really just be about like centering yourself, meditating for 10 minutes and really kind of envisioning and manifesting like, what is it where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 14 years? It's about kind of,
Yeah, reminding yourself of your kind of optimal path and what's important. And I think, yeah, it's easy as, it's just being intentional at the new moon. You often find that things come into the life around that time anyway, where it's like, oh, I'm like cooking myself dinner and I have a friend coming over and we're going to have a glass of wine, or we're drinking, it's like you tend to, right? Like energy attracts
Oh,
like.
here,
So,
I'm so sorry. All
oh,
right, we're gonna
oh,
pause. We will be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Of course, someone came to mow our lawn right when we're talking about relaxation and exhaling. But today as we record this, the moon is still in Aries. So
definitely you can feel that moon in Aries, by the way.
you can.
And Mercury's in Aries, and it was conjunct
Oh, and
last night.
Chiron, we still got a little bit of a pile up in Aries, but we're talking
But
about the
Aries, yeah,
beauty
breaks
of
things free.
getting a
It
little bit of a break.
courts healthy conflict and A little spirited
In our
defiance.
body a little bit. Let's get in our body, do some yoga, go garden, buy some pretty flowers. These are all some things you can do tomorrow. Go buy yourself flowers. That is something I want every single person watching this to do. Plant flowers, buy flowers.
Flip,
Also, if
flip your landlord's
pregnancy,
flowers.
this is a good time to, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, putting in that energy out into the world, doing some sort of like intention setting around anything that takes patience, because Taurus is also patience. So,
Taurus is patient.
yeah, financial planning, you know, really manifesting a stronger financial time. See, Eric, like there's a lot going on. My cat just is saying hi and saying yes.
Yeah.
Please,
It's
please.
saying take care of your resources and get YNAB and make a budget and part of comfort, part of, I always think the bottom of Maslow's pyramid is you have to feel materially secure. So what does that mean for you? Is that saying yes to walking your neighbor's dog for 20 bucks? Yes. Yes, it is.
That's what you need to do. It's what you
Very
need to do.
Taurus.
You need to
Animals, very
hire.
grounding.
Yeah, if it's all about kind of putting that out there that you are ready to have it
Ready?
come easy, you know?
Yeah. Ready and
That's the
worthy of,
other thing.
yeah,
Like
financial
have it come
ease
easy.
and abundance. Yeah. That ease part is huge. That is also what the medicine one kept saying was like, you can set goals and intentions and what you want to release, but make sure to also set the intention, like, may it come with grace and ease and hurt no one. You know what I mean? That there is, that it's integrative and it's not, you're not setting up these, just like, don't get too heady about it. We are spirit. So it's not like you have to really be so didactic with spirit about what you want and what you're releasing. It's like, let your intentions fill you with ease and joy, be evocative of that Taurus energy. You are Taurus, right? We all have that energy within us. So you're really just trying to attune to that Taurian part within you. And just as a, simple guidance in setting intentions, like, do look at where the degree of this Taurus moon, what house does Taurus rule in your chart? That can give you some themes that might have a little more, the roots might have a little less obstruction, right? If your Taurus is in the 10th house, then things around, career and mission in the world and reputation and big kind of far reaching change that other people can see, and, or being an authority or a way shower in a way that is public, right? Can be very different than if you have, a Taurus is in the 12th house, which is really, healing and connection with your, with your body and spirituality and imagination and create, so it will help, and then you have to use your intuition to kind of tease out those appropriate tendrils. But yeah,
Absolutely. And if you don't know where Taurus is in, where this new moon will be in,
you can pay us. Just kidding. You can give us a lot of money and
we
we'll
will
tell you.
have our links and we can help you. But if you're struggling with that, put it in the comments. Maybe we can help you. But also astro.com. There's a lot of websites where you can get a free chart. I don't have that up and running
If you
on
know your birth time, then you get the
You do
house.
need to know
Yeah.
your birth time.
But
But
also what planets are in there and what,
even
you
if
know what I
you
mean?
don't know what house it's
Even
in,
if you don't, yeah, just
it's
tune
still the
in,
energy
Tokyo.
we're all under. Right. And
Yes.
and also the sun is going to be is it what the sun in is sextiling
Oh, Saturn on that in the
Saturn.
early morning hours, basically when you should be asleep. Um, the sun is sextiling Saturn.
Okay.
Yes.
So so a sextile is a kind of, it's a positive aspect that kind of gives energy to that. So again, Saturn, and there's kind of, to me there's a little bit of a resonance with Saturn and Taurus, even though there isn't. It's just in my head, like
Well,
they're
Earth.
both they're both Earth, and they both have that kind of like committed quality to them. And
Yeah,
like
and get real, right? It's not heady energy. I mean, anytime Saturn, and thank God it's I mean, not, Saturn is always sort of productive. but the fact that it's a sextile will make it a little more fluid, right? If it was a square, we have a sense that, oh, we dropped a ball, or like we're really, are confronted by kind of the varnish being off of something, and like, okay, how can we correct and kind of bring things back into,
Yep. I think
reality?
it's just a
But
very fertile time for everybody to
yeah,
plant those seeds. So,
yeah,
uh, oh, another thing that I wanted to bring up. So there's a lot going on. So we're kind of talking about the seventh a lot more. We'll kind of go a little faster as we go through, but this is a big new moon,
yeah.
and new
This is
moon
definitely the touchstone of the week,
this
right?
is
This is like
exciting.
setting the mood for the week starting Tuesday. There's a new moon. So you want to be really careful about your energy, or just really intentional,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep. And so
be in a
Chiron
space.
is conjunct Mercury and Aries at the same time. And so this to me is about healing and letting go of old stories that we tell each other, that we tell ourselves, rather, I should say. And where we're holding on to what others have said to us that is no longer relevant in our lives, that is just an old story. So that
Right.
Chiron, yeah. So
Yeah.
there is an opportunity here, and you can integrate that and weave that into your new moon ceremony or your new moon intentions, where it's like, I want to put this piece of, someone once said this about my looks, or someone once said this about my, my ability to be organized, whatever it is. You put it down. It's not yours anymore. Like, we can heal these old stories. Chiron, has been hurt, and Chiron then can turn around and heal that wound. And so, conjunct Mercury like that in the sign of Aries, there's an opportunity now to just sort of move past the old stories.
Yeah. And to realize, yeah, where you're the lens through which you see the world, Mercury, how we perceive our environment, um, yeah, where those lenses have been kind of through the perception of being wounded or being made wrong early, or it's like kind of yeah, being your own mother, kind of re-narrating it, or coming up with a new frame for how you want to see the world. And Aries is always new beginnings, right? So it's like it's a cutting from the past, or that opportunity to kind of break from the past in the way that you perceive, communicate, express yourself. What are you hanging on to in that? Like, I always react like this, or I always say things in this way. That you have to realize what gods, what old stories. And it's usually people make some comment, and then we make it mean something, right? If someone calls you dumb, and you're not dumb, it doesn't hurt you. But if you have some insecurity about, like, oh God, do I have a low IQ? Am I dumb? Am I not, like, in my intelligence working a different way, right? But it's like, whatever you make that information you've heard mean in the past, and stuff may come up, right? With Chiron's not like Jupiter, right? Chiron is a very penetrative, fault finding, but constructive, right? It's like, I'm making you aware of this wound, or this place that you feel vulnerable, almost a turning in a way where it's like, I'm going to uncover this for the purpose of healing and transmutation. So in how you express yourself, just be like, okay, is this what do I want to carry forward? Especially that it's so amplified by this new moon energy, that we are kind of planting a seed here. So you're planting a seed, as well, in Taurus energy in that house, but also in the way that you perceive and communicate your messages. So words have power. Words are spells. So just like what you want to carry forward, let that come through speech, or sometimes lack of, withholding. When do we withhold? Especially with Aries, which is so reactive, right? Power
Yeah,
isn't
and
always
also,
reactive.
I think there's gifts with Chiron there. There's gifts that we have to offer other people too, where we can, give
Totally.
them a reality
Right.
check, where we can kind of tell them like, oh no, you're not stupid. Like, who told you that? Like, where
Right.
did that come from? Like, you have that ability, and so check
As a
in with like your
teacher.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
kind of that sense where, you can do that for yourself, because we all have places where we have insecurities, and we've been hurt by other people's words. But, be that person, be that friend that helps set the record straight, so somebody else maybe can put that energy down.
Very
So
true.
very true. Okay, so I guess maybe, so just so you know, we're going to be feeling that energy all week long. The new moon, it's technically on the 7th, but you give it a few days on either side where that energy is really ramping up. So May 8th, the Taurus moon is conjunct Jupiter, which is once again a gift to us all. It's actually like right in the conjunction. And
And
so,
Uranus and Jupiter.
wow. So,
Yeah.
right there, again, we have some manifestations of giving and gifts to ourselves. Like, where do we need to pamper ourselves? Like, this is a good day to go to the spa. I mean, how many people get to go to the spa on a Wednesday? But you can do something nice for yourself and know that this is, again, sort of like a little treat because we've all been through the ringer lately. Like, just kind of be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself on Wednesday.
Right. It also makes me think, just as a personal note, just how I apply astrology. Like I was thinking, because I'm moving, the 7th as a new moon, I don't want to go to my old job on the new moon. I want to move to my city on the day of the new moon. I want that to be a clean slate,
Love it.
right? I want to plant the daisies that day.
Yep.
And not plant it with old hanging. Be careful what you're like bringing into the new moon, right? Sometimes you want to, what can you let go to the last, but we're starting a new lunar cycle. So things that are new and, represent that energy for you. So I'm like, yeah, my last day is going to be Sunday, not Tuesday.
Love it. And also, this is a really good time to plant a garden. Depending on where you are in the country, obviously, or in the world, I should say, because YouTube has big reach. But if you can plant something, even like an herb garden or something, like there's just like kind of that reminder. That's another good way to be like ceremonial and intentive. So, okay, the 9th, the moon shifts into Gemini and it sextiles Mars. So, as you were kind of saying, like, the beginning of the week is much more like grounded, focus on the body, not so much in the head. Well, moon and Gemini sextiling Mars, that's a lot more busy mental energy. So
Oh yeah,
as you come into the 9th, just keep,
problem solving.
yeah, that's the balance your checkbook. Maybe you call a financial planner earlier in the week and then no one uses a checkbook anymore, but
My mom does. My mom still uses a checkbook.
yeah, my mom does
She
too.
still doesn't trust doing any kind of online transactions with a credit card. And my credit cards are insured. Like you have insurance.
I
You can
wonder
you
when
can you
people are
can
going to be like, what's a check? But
probably.
pretty soon.
What was
But
it? Someone once said, was it? Oh gosh, it was like a great like pick up a phone. Like someone didn't know what they like. What do you mean by pick up a phone? What was it? Anyway, it was some
yeah,
anachronistic millennial thing. I
yeah,
love millennials.
probably. Yeah, we're anyway. It's we're not Gen Z though. Anyway, love you
We're not
all.
boomers.
Whatever generation you are. So, okay, so busy mental energy on that day. The 10th, the sextile and Mercury is in Aries. So again, like boop, 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 computing, lots of like, that's the time to problem solve. That's the time to get things done. And then as
It's
we
a
go,
little, and on Friday the 10th, there's a few kind of challenging. We also have the moon squares Neptune.
ooh,
The
at
moon
10.
goes void of course. The moon squares Saturn at 1:03 a.m. on Friday, May 10th.
Sounds like maybe
And
the
yeah,
10th.
there's a few. Yeah, Friday might be a bit. Yeah, and also the moon squares Chiron and Aries.
Yeah, so the look on Kelly's face is what you can take away from Friday, apparently. Friday is
Patience, just to really use those. Yeah,
maybe it's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more of a day, and like just know it's a day because the moon moves fast. So all of
that's
these
true.
kind of like more challenging aspects, like, yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
time to get things done. Things may not flow smoothly, but like just take a deep breath. They'll be
you
all
also
right.
yeah figure out a lot of stuff, make calls, solve problems. Like I said,
You
that's
might
going
be
to be
working
one of
hard.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
problems come
know,
up, and the next day will be smoother. It's like if the problem comes up, that's just a cue to solve it. You heard
yeah.
it here first, folks. Yes.
And Moon Saturn, I remember we watched we were we were in an astrology conference together. We watched the Tanya Harding movie. We were like, wonder what her chart's like. We looked it up, and like she has a moon conjunct Saturn, and that chick worked hard. Like she worked hard,
Yeah.
but like it wasn't always easy or fun. And if you've seen the Tanya Harding
Yeah,
movie,
Saturn's
a complicated
tough.
thing. But my point being, if there's kind of a difficult aspect between the moon and Saturn, it can be hard work, it can be challenging.
Yeah, do your reps that day. Do your yoga, do your meditation, and just roll
Or
up your
maybe
sleeves
hit
and
the gym,
confront what is there.
hit the ice rink,
Hit the ice rink. Get your mallet.
do some practicing of your
Get your mallet.
basketball
Find someone
shot.
somebody you think is better than you, and then take their knees out. Just kidding. Don't do that. That's shadow Saturn. We want to also
It's
make you
true.
guys aware of shadow Saturn.
Shadow Saturn is not good when you
Ruin the
hit
competition with
Eve.
avarice and
Again,
scofflaw.
I'm very sorry to anyone from Generation Z who doesn't know what we're talking about. Okay, I would be very surprised if anyone under the age of
No
20.
one knows Tanya Harding. I mean, Barbie played her in a movie like 4 years ago.
They don't know.
Okay.
That's okay. It was very.
Nancy
it
Kerrigan,
no, they're not gonna know. Okay,
Richard Nixon,
then it
Richard.
gets better. Then we get the moon in Cancer, and the moon loves to be in Cancer. I'm a Cancer, sweet and
Yeah, Moon
kind.
and Cancer. You always feel a palpable. How does it exhale? Just like a withdrawing or like personal something. You're like antisocial. It's more of like you just want to be comfortable and be around familiar faces, and you also be a little. It can be a little sensitive, right? I mean, yes, but like just as a sort of a mood, it can
I,
feel
I'm
yeah.
currently not eating carbs, but I make a really good apple pie, like really good, and that is a good
The
thing.
Cancer trait.
Cancers can make a really good pie, and if you are a Cancer and have never tried to make a pie, you should. But the point being, Moon in Cancer is all about taking care of your inner child and like being sweet to yourself and being sweet to others, and
Right.
yeah, just it, you know,
Which may
maybe
be a little challenging, being that the Moon in Cancer is squaring Mars in Aries at
fine.
2:36 p.m. Pacific time.
All right. So don't get in any fights with people. Like you might be defensive and
Yeah,
it's
taking things
probably
personally, getting goaded into things. Like your grandma said, don't let him get your goat.
let it go.
Don't let him get your goat. You know what
Yeah,
that means?
just let it go. Like that's
Let him
okay.
take your goat.
Is that
Yeah.
Saturday? That's Saturday the 11th, right?
That is, yeah, Saturday. But it can be, it's also like the moon, our mood. We're in the mood to like take action, to kind of triumph, to take on challenge, to do things for the first time, to use stress as a catalyst for change, right? But yeah, you can, depending on your vibration, you can attract some combat or conflict or stress or a sense of urgency.
Or
And
just like,
because,
yeah, like some
yeah,
like you said, like something around the home. It's a Saturday, so that's also an opportunity to get things done around the home.
totally.
You know, Cancer is a cardinal sign, and even though we are very sweet, we also like to yeah,
Initiate.
we get some shit done. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, on Sunday, the moon is still in Cancer.
It's Mother's Day. Aw, so
And
appropriate.
and it's sextiling Uranus and Taurus. So that's a really nice flowing energy where
Yeah, so many aspects the moon makes that day. That's going to be a very feeling day.
okay, so we're gonna feel sensitive, we're gonna feel loving, we're gonna, want to protect and, get in touch with mom. Give her a call, tell her you love her, and if you are the mom, then also tell, your family what you want. Don't just if you don't want somebody to make you breakfast in bed and you have to do the dishes, then say I want to go out. So, all right, so then the other big day that I wanted to touch base on, and then we can wrap this up is the 13th. The sun is in Taurus, conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and Venus is in Taurus, sextiling Saturn in Pisces. So, again, we have everybody crowding around in Taurus. So, kind of like bookending the week. Like we're going to have kind of this energy again but it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be Sun Uranus, which is really about like initiating change. So not so much the moon where it's more internal, planting seeds. There's a little bit more of that kind of external.
Right. Manifestation, like things will hit the fan, or there will be some sort of illustrative event of these these Taurian changes, or these Taurian theme changes. So around income and body and well-being and resources, and I'd say also relationships. Taurus body, Venus ruled. So that should be a pretty spirited. You always find when Uranus is involved, it's like there might be big news events. It's, our attention is kind of captivated. Things are, it's the pinnacle of like pattern breaking, where it's like, wait, you kind of do double takes. We're feeling a bit more, we're attaching to our future self, right? We're feeling trends in the wind. There's excitement, there's thrill, there's uncertainty, there's anxiety there, so it's all how you
Yeah,
receive that.
and yeah,
But
definitely watch the news anytime there's, something activating Uranus. There is something unexpected, things that, we can't
come
predict.
to a head. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Especially that the moon is still in like that waxing phase. But yeah, that'll be a pretty, I'd say, remarkable day. And then the moon goes into Leo that evening and trines Mars. Woohoo! Because that's on a
that's a
Monday.
beautiful energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Venus in Taurus, sextile Saturn in Pisces. Again, Venus having a positive interaction with Saturn. We're talking about, making things manifest, like you said, and in relationships, it's an opportunity to kind of take a step forward. And it doesn't even have to be it could be a friendship. It can be or your relationship with yourself too, right? I mean, it's really kind of about um, concretizing things in a flowing way. So,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Venus sextile Saturn would be a great day for um yeah, getting on the same page, coming to cooperative agreement, signing contracts that, kind of initiate a new cycle, right? It's a pretty blessed day as far as yeah, there are a lot of flowing aspects,
So
I
on
would say.
Saturday, don't pick a fight and don't be defensive. Just bake a pie. And then the next day, you can get stuff done and like some cool stuff might happen. So that's that's the like maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
So I would say if I had to sum up this week, I would say definitely that new moon is important and it's about kind of getting a little bit of a break from the drama from the past few months and just exhaling.
Yeah, connect with your Taurus. That's what this week is about. The other stuff is kind of filling, the grout, but like the main course is like this is a new moon week. So get your head and your body in the right place, and then trust, that you'll be able to, yeah, solve the issues and problems that come up,
Yeah.
right? Because you're going to be so primed to that, like, what's simple, what's right in my immediate environment, what do I need to take care of, and let it be easy, and let conflicts that are extraneous or do not serve you, discipline yourself to kind of, let those yeah, fall. Be careful what you give your energy to.
I love that. I love that. So hopefully we've given you some food for thought for this
Everything.
season. And hopefully you'll start to join us every week as we talk about what's coming up for the week. We would love it if you subscribe to this channel. If you have any thoughts or comments, that you leave them below. Of course, throw us a like, tell your friends about us, and feel free to visit our if you're interested in a reading, feel free to visit our websites and yeah, we'd love to hear what you would be interested in as well. So, as always, there is a reason and a season for it all, and the universe is supporting you. It's conspiring to support you. So, until next
Good and
time.
bad.
Yep, it's through the good and bad. It's all going to be okay.
It's
It's all
bad.
good.
So
Okay. Okay, take care. Bye, stargazers.